Welcome to Mystery Summary. Today, we are going to do a recap of the first 2 episodes of the show My Name. It's a crime thriller about a girl trying to get revenge and find redemption. Watch till the end, until the mystery is revealed. The show starts with a schoolgirl, Ji-Woo, whose father Yoon is a wanted gangster. Many people are looking for him, including the detectives who follow Ji-Woo even when she goes to school. Things are not better at school either. The bullies in Ji-Woo's class have written all kinds of slurs on her desk. A chubby girl is particularly hostile towards Ji-Woo. During the break, Ji-Woo sees the detectives talking to her teacher. And the same day, her teacher tells her that she's being transferred to a different school because she causes problems for other students. This is when she gets a text from her father, who's wishing her a happy 17th birthday. When Ji-Woo goes back to the class that day, she sees a bag of powder on her desk while the bullies are calling her the junkie's daughter. Ji-Woo gets angry and smashes the powder bag into the chubby girl's face. This causes all the bullies to jump Ji-Woo, who is quite good at defending herself. She slaps the bullies around who are still calling her crazy. And when the chubby girl takes out a knife, Ji-Woo disarms her and takes her down. She then leaves the class and tells her teacher that she is dropping out. She's angry, and on her way out, she breaks the mirror of the cop car. The detectives chase her, but Ji-Woo is too fast, and she outruns them. She finally sits down at the pier and looks at her father's pictures. When she gets back home, there are some gifts outside her door. She leaves them there and even takes down her dad's pictures. That night Yoon calls Ji-Woo from a payphone. He's talking as if everything is normal and asking about her school life. That's when Ji-Woo tells him that he has made her life a living hell, and she also explains how she's being harassed by the cops as well as her classmates. She tells him that he shouldn't come into her life ever again. When the call ends, Yoon gets back into his car and looks at all the texts that Ji-Woo sent him. He feels bad for not being there for her, so he takes the car to Ji-Woo's place. He's angry at the detectives, and he beats them up pretty bad. He then goes to Ji-Woo's door, but just before he unlocks it, he sees an assassin coming his way. Yoon takes out a knife, but the assassin has a gun. Meanwhile, Ji-Woo is at the door to check out the commotion outside. She sees her dad through the peephole and tries to open the door, but Yoon keeps the door closed. He tells the assassin to not hurt his daughter, and that's when he gets shot. Ji-Woo is begging him to let her out, but Yoon gets shot again, and the assassin leaves. Yoon falls down on the ground and tells Ji-Woo that he's sorry for making her life so difficult. Not long after, he dies. Ji-Woo finally pushes the door open. She is screaming after seeing her dad's dead body and crying for help. At Yoon's funeral, his boss Moo-jin comes to pay his respects. He's clearly sad, and Ji-Woo asks who was behind his father's death. Moo-jin tells her that Yoon was like his brother, and he was assassinated by unknown. A few days go by, and Ji-Woo goes to the cops to ask why they stopped the search for the assassin. They have a picture of him, but the detective says that it's impossible to find the culprit. This makes Ji-Woo angry, so the detective tells her that the only reason Yoon came out of hiding was that Ji-Woo said something to him on the phone. She remembers her conversation and feels responsible for Yoon's death. When the cops turn her away, she goes to Moo-jin's office. She shows him the evidence and asks him to find the assassin. Ji-Woo says that she'll eliminate the assassin herself. Moo-jin tells her that she doesn't know what it means to take a life. He gives her a knife and asks her to stab him, but Ji-Woo can't possibly do so. So Moo-jin tells her to go home. At home, Ji-Woo hears a knock on her door. She goes to the door with a knife and looks through the peephole to see a hooded figure standing outside. She doesn't know the guy, and when he goes out, she runs after him with a stick, but he speeds away. Ji-Woo decides to find the assassin all by herself. She spreads pamphlets in all the shady neighborhoods of the city. She even puts these pamphlets on different shops' doors. Moo-jin sees one of these pamphlets that guarantees a 5 million won reward for the information about the assassin. One night she gets a call from someone who says they know the assailant. When she goes there, she finds herself in a trap, and some thugs start beating her. They knock her out, and when she wakes up, she's in the trunk of a car. She hears the thugs who stop the car. When the trunk opens, she tries to stab the guy, but it's Moo-jin outside. Later, he asks Ji-Woo if she really wants to take revenge, and if she's willing to pay the price for it. She says she's ready because she feels guilty for what happened to her father. So Moo-jin decides to take her under his wing, and he takes her to a training facility. He tells her that she has to learn how to take a life before she goes after the assassin. Ji-Woo is left to train among the recruits for Moo-jin's criminal organization. A guy named Jae tells her that since she's the newest recruit, she has to do all cleaning and other chores of the facility. So Ji-Woo cleans the dishes after dinner and even does the laundry. When she tries to train, a guy pushes her and gropes her. Ji-Woo punches him, but he beats her before he stopped. One night when she's training, Moo-jin shows up there. He tells her that she needs to hit the men in their weak spots to take them down. He starts sparring with her and slowly shows her some weak spots. He even keeps an eye on her while she trains. Then one day, Moo-jin puts her in the last man standing match between all the fresh recruits. In the chaotic brawl, Ji-Woo takes down many guys. Jae is also very impressive, and soon he's the only guy standing, but Moo-jin tells him that he still has to take down Ji-Woo to win the reward. Jae goes after her and throws her around, but she uses an armbar and eventually knocks him out. After the fight, Ji-Woo receives all the praise while Jae wakes up to find out that he has become a laughingstock because he got knocked out by a girl. He's clearly mad, and when he goes out to the training arena, he sees Ji-Woo mopping the arena to clean all the blood. She looks at him and apologizes for hitting him, but Jae says she has nothing to be sorry for. After cleaning up, Ji-Woo takes a shower and goes back to her room. She takes one sip of the water in her bottle, and pretty soon, her vision starts getting blurry. Meanwhile, Jae tells his roommate that he has spiked Ji-Woo's water with hardcore drugs, and she will pass out soon. He tells his roommate that they can go up to her room and have their way with her. So they go to Ji-Woo's room, and at this point, she's hallucinating badly. Jae's roommate is trying to rough her up, and she struggles. The pot that has her dad's ashes falls down and breaks. When the guy tries to attack her again, Ji-Woo takes a broken piece of the pot and stabs the guy in his genitals. Jae, on the other hand, is looking at all of this and laughing hysterically. She runs out of the room, and Jae goes after her with a hammer. He goes to hit her, but she stabs him as well, and just then, Taiju stops the fight. Jae is brought to Moo-jin, who intends to punish Jae by cutting off his arm or leg or disfiguring his face. Moo-jin further tells him that he brought Ji-Woo there, so no one had the right to touch her without his permission. Jae starts begging for forgiveness, but Moo-jin just cuts his face up with a sword. Ji-Woo, on the other hand, puts her father's ashes in a different box. She gets out of the room, and her superior Taiju tells her that he lost a valuable foot soldier because of her. He tells her that she isn't cut out for the criminal world and she should leave. But Ji-Woo wants revenge, and there's no going back for her, so she is taken to a shop where Moo-jin has drinks with her. They both discuss how they miss Yoon because he was the only person who could listen to their pain and sadness. Then Moo-jin tells Ji-Woo that she is officially dead from today, and from now on, she will be known as Hae-jin. He shows her the gun that was used to assassinate her dad, and it's a police-issued weapon. So he asks Hae-jin to join the police force and find the assassin as a member of Moo-jin's organization. So in 2017, Hae-jin starts training, and in 2019, she joins the police academy, and by 2020 she is chasing violent criminals. In 2021 she is going after a murder suspect with her colleague. The suspect goes into an underground club, and some men are entering the club. She goes inside, but leaves her partner outside as a lookout. Inside, she sees a lot of youngsters partying and doing all sorts of drugs. She looks into a room where the suspect is making a drug deal with a guy in a black jacket. While all of this is going on, Hae-jin's partner is captured by some cops who tell him that they are already running a sting operation in that club. Her partner tries to tell this to Hae-jin, but it's too late. Hae-jin, on the other hand, breaks the window with a chair and starts beating up the men inside. The guy in the jacket is an undercover officer named Pildo, and he also takes down the gangsters in the club. Soon their backup comes, and all the gangsters are caught. Hae-jin wants to arrest the culprit, but Pildo tells her that he's a sergeant and he will arrest the gangster first. Right then, Hae-jin gets a call from her boss, and she has to hand over the gangster to Pildo. Moo-jin, on the other hand, is suppressing a rebellion by one of his closest associates, Jungo. He captures Jungo, who wants a second chance to prove his loyalty, but Moo-jin puts him in a car and then fills the car with exhaust smoke. The next day, Hae-jin goes to the station, and a guy approaches her. She instantly recognizes him as the same guy who visited her house after her dad's death. This man is Captain Ji-Ho of the narcotics department. He asks her why she ruined an active investigation just to catch a suspect. She explains how sometimes one has to be more swift while trying to take down criminals. Ji-Ho has seen that she applied for the narcotics department before, and he likes her enthusiasm. So Ji-Ho hires her. That evening, she rides to the riverbank and meets Moo-jin there. She gives him a bottle of chamomile tea to help with his insomnia. She tells him that she has finally gotten into the narcotics branch. So Moo-jin gives her his own knife and asks her to use it to take down the killer. The next day, Pildo is investigating the gangster to find out the name of his suppliers. The gangster says a guy named Mango is the supplier of the drug. Pildo gets out of the room to get information on Mango when he sees Hyejin getting into his office. Pildo goes into Ji-Ho's office to protest this decision, but Ji-Ho tells him that the decision is final and she will serve as Pildo's partner. So Pildo goes to his cubicle and tells Hyejin to come with him because they're going to do some field work. They go out while Ji-Ho is looking at the news of Jungo's death. He calls someone and tells him that Moo-jin will make his move soon. Meanwhile, Pildo takes Hyejin to the parking lot of a casino and asks her to go inside and arrest Mango. She gets out while he stays behind. She tries to get in, but a drunk bouncer stops her. She takes him down, but he shoves her, so she takes out her stick and knocks him out. Other guards attack her as well, but she takes them out one by one. She then goes inside the casino. Back in the car, Pildo starts to get worried, and he calls for backup. He goes into the casino and sees the unconscious bouncer. When Pildo reaches the back room, he sees a lot of guys on the ground while Hyejin is standing there trying to arrest Mango. And that wraps up our recap for the first 2 episodes of the show My Name. Feel free to drop a comment below as to what we should recap next. Thank you for watching.